Hello everybody and welcome back to Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Hope you're all having a good week so far, and in today's video I'm going to be taking a day off the transfer window topics, as news coming out over the last few days surrounding getting full ownership of the Johnson Stadium has took a bit of a stumbling block for Huddersfield Town. Yes, completion of a deal to hand over the Johnson Stadium to Huddersfield Town is on hold indefinitely. Look, like I said, it's a big blow for us as Huddersfield Town fans. You know, we thought it was a matter of time before we took full ownership, but unfortunately, we have hit another stumbling block, and I'm going to bring you up to date with all the latest in this video. But before we do get into it, make sure you do drop a like on the stream, on the video, sorry, not the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment your thoughts down below on today's topics. Of course, I appreciate if you can help share the channel out. To be fair, liking the channel is a form of share, because, as I said, likes do get the video around, and that is what we want. So obviously, if you can help with that, it is free. And subscribe. We are getting closer and closer to 900 subscribers, and yes, within touching distance of 1,000, which I've always said it, guys, is my dream kind of goal that I've set myself for a long time. That was a long-term goal for quite a while now, and yeah, look, to be fair, that we are getting closer and closer, and we're just going to keep pushing that content out there and doing the best we can, and yeah, hopefully we can continue to grow our lovely community that we've got around here. But look, let's get into it then. So just to recap, obviously I just kind of recap people that aren't aware of the situation right now, and before I do get into kind of the nitty-gritty of where we're at right now as well. So yeah, just to recap, Kevin Nagel, our owner, seemed to have secured a deal for the Johnson Stadium to take full ownership, and it seemed like things were going to be completed sooner rather than later. But I think the fact it had been a while since we got updated on things suggested there was a problem. Now, this problem does primarily lie with the Huddersfield Giants, who are the town's rugby team, and we've been ground sharing with them for as long as I can remember. Everyone that are obviously town supporters, Giant supporters, will know that that we've been ground sharing for a while, for ages. I think we must have been ground sharing since the stadium opened. I think I could be wrong, but like I said, I can't remember. Like I said, I wasn't even born when the stadium opened initially. So yes. I'm not too sure on that one, so I'm not sure. I'm sure some of you guys out there may know, but can't think at the top of my head right now. So yes, as I said, we seem to have secured that deal, a deal of taking over the Johnson Stadium fully and making it a Huddersfield Town Stadium, and obviously something that, look, for me, I've always wanted, because on a selfish point of view, I think it'd just be nice to have our own stadium out, you know, not ground share with the rugby team. You know, the rugby team. For me, I think the rugby teams should have their own stadium anyway, personally. But obviously, the deal that was struck at the time when the Giants and Huddersfield Town obviously secured that deal to ground share, then yeah, it kind of just stayed. And I know obviously Dean Hoyle trying to get full ownership of the stadium, it just didn't work out, did it? Not because of this. You know, we're definitely further along in terms of where we were at with Dean Hoyle. Dean Hoyle couldn't even agree, you know, the fee to take over the stadium fully. But this isn't the stumbling block right now. So yes, hopefully you guys know where we're at the moment, not where we were before, sorry. And now I'm going to give you the inside information about where we are now. So look, obviously, Huddersfield Giants owner Ken Davey has done an exclusive interview with Huddersfield Hub, saying he won't sign a deal until he has planning permission on a new stadium site for the Giants in Huddersfield. Mr. Davey also says the Giants still haven't found the site yet, though they do have preferred options. Now, their original plan was for their owner, Ken Davey, to buy the Shea Stadium in Halifax and move the Giants there temporarily until a new stadium is built in Huddersfield. But he won't move the Giants out of Huddersfield until there's a new stadium site to move back to. And I think, to be fair, wanting that security of securing the players for their new stadium in Huddersfield is very understandable before moving out of the Johnson Stadium, because look, you don't want to be moving out before you've actually secured a place that you can move into, if that makes sense. So we'd be the same if it was the other way around. We'd want to know that we could, we've got a site ready to start building on before we moved out. You know what I mean? So look, yeah, I completely understand that. And obviously, look, Davey did say, I don't want my legacy to be that I took Huddersfield Rugby League out of Huddersfield, where the game was born, and could not get back. He also went on to say, I've consistently said the Shea was a temporary solution, and I wanted to help Kevin Nagle and Huddersfield Town by moving out earlier, because it will take a few years to build a new stadium. Kevin is very keen to develop the site around Huddersfield. There's 50 acres, and that will be very beneficial to Kirklees and the people of Huddersfield. So we want it all to happen, but we can't take the risk of leaving and not having an approved site for a new stadium. Now, obviously, Huddersfield Town owner Kevin Nagle said in his previous video diary that a deal for the Johnson Stadium couldn't be signed until Mr. Davies' deal for the Shea had gone through. But Mr. Davey has now made it clear the delay is not about securing the Shea, it's about ensuring there's planning permission for a new stadium in Huddersfield. Now, Davey just kept reiterating he didn't want to be responsible for taking the Huddersfield Giants away from Huddersfield on a permanent basis. That simply won't happen, he said. So yes, there is a few kind of places that could potentially be the site for their stadium, but we're not going to get too much into that, because like I said, that's their business, not ours. But look, basically, it's a bit of a tricky situation with who owns the stadium anyway. You know what I mean? The stadium at John Smith, to be honest, because look, obviously, the Giants did want to move to the former gasworks site off St Andrews Road near the Johnson Stadium. This land was used as an occasional car park, had been owned by a company linked to Kirklees Stadium Development LDT, KSDL, which owns the stadium. It is believed, though, that Kirklees Council took control of that land, as KDSL could no longer keep up loan repayments. So, look, while it's not clear who actually owns the land now, Kirklees Council wanted ownership as part of the deal to sell the stadium to Mr. Nagle. Also, the gasworks site is also an integral part of the council's station to stadium enterprise corridor and falls within a health and digital technology investment zone fronted by the University of Huddersfield's National Health Innovation Campus. The site is seen as prime economic development land and is described as a significant development opportunity on the council's Business Kirklees website. Now, Mr. Davey has said he spent a sum well into six figures investigating potential sites, particularly the gasworks site. He switched away from the gasworks site when it seemed Kirklees Council wouldn't budge and was looking instead at Leeds Road playing fields. But look, we're not going to get into any of the details about where they potentially move. Obviously, that's their business, as I said. Although at the moment it does kind of hold things up, doesn't it, for us? But look, for us, like I said, so we're kind of at that stage now where like I said, the Giants need to find a home before Davey signs that contract, basically. And look, it does seem like that's not going to be straightforward at this point either. So it's a worry for me that these plans may fall through because, look, there's not many vacant sites in Huddersfield really for a stadium. And there is a few opportunities. I've already kind of told you a few, but it does seem like it's, you know what I mean, going to be quite difficult. But like I said, Davey, just finally, Davey has previously said he wanted the Giants to move to the shape at the start of the 26th season, but with no site for a new stadium agreed upon and planning permission likely to take at least 6 months, that timescale looks to be in serious doubt. So, look, it looks like the Giants could potentially be staying at the John Smiths for now. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But look, this video is kind of a bit of a different one today, but I did want to kind of do this video because look, it does impact us as much as it does them. Because like I said, we've been dreaming of our own official Huddersfield Town Stadium for ages now, haven't we? And obviously, this is just another kick in the teeth again because, like I said, it's not all straight. It's kind of. It's not all easy to complete. It's very complex, and yeah. So we'll see what happens, but yes, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I made sense of it as well, and hopefully you guys can follow it. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have already seen the article anyway, but just want to kind of just go through it and kind of just share my thoughts on it. But let's just hope for both parties that we can that we can move forward and actually get this done ASAP. But I just have serious doubts now after reading the article the other day, and obviously, I just don't see what the solution is here because, like I said, there's just no obvious site for the Giants to move to, and so it may be delayed another season now by the looks of it, because but we'll see. Anyway, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. But thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for some more Huddersfield Town content. So make sure you do tune in for another video then. But until next time, take care, stay safe, and as always, up the town, Lee Grant, Barmy Army. See you all very, very soon.